this over here is a diagram with Hashem's name, God's name on it. It has different phonetic combinations of the way God's name, the four-letter name, is spelled out. And there's a significance. So this one here you have is called Av 72. You see it comes out. Depends how you spell out the letters. When you add up the numbers, if you put, let's say, with the Yuds, it goes higher to 72. This one 63. This one is 45, and that one is 52. Now they're very significant. This is very interesting because I've spoken to some people who are atheists, and they don't believe there's a God. Now here, this is God's name. This is Yud Kei Vav Kei, Hashem's name, the essential name of God. And an atheist would say that there is no God. But I would say be open to at least the possibility that there's some metaphysical meaning in this combinations here, in the gematrias or numerology. To understand that if some entity has a name, and Hashem, God, has a name, then is it not possible that on some level that there is such a being, such an existence, such a realm, whatever? Okay, the significance of these numbers, if you take, for example, the one that's 45, Ma here, it comes out to the gematria here, the 45. That has to do with, in the terms of Sfirot, it has to do with Chochma, and something called TIKKUN, and Dveikut. Now, Dveikut means that Chochma, being the first sphere, is more close. Dveikut means it's close. He's close. He's clinging to the divine light. And Tikkun means literally repair, as opposed to Tohu, which it means everything in disarray and one force that doesn't get along with the other force, and there's conflict. Tikkun is where one of the Sfirot is included in another Sfirot, and all the Sfirot are in harmonization. Now the next one here, one on the bottom here, is Ban. It's 52. That's more related to the physical world. Ban is related to MALKUT, which is the lowest sphera, and it's related to what we call the Kalim, whereas the Ma, the 45, would be related to something called Or, light, and Malkut, or Ban 52, is related to the vessels, the containment. So the light would be considered the aspect of the unlimited, the infinite in general, and the Kalim would be generally considered the finite and the limitation and boundaries. Ma is the gematria of Adam, the numerological equivalent of the word man, Adam. And Adam means Adama, which means to be compared. Adama is compared to above, to Elyon, to above. And the numerological value of the Ban, 52 over here at the bottom, is BEHAMA, which is animal, which means it's referring to the lower levels. Now, if you go up here, the second category, this one here is Sag. It's come to 63, Samet Gimel. Well, that's related to the idea of Tohu. It's also related to severities. It's in some way similar to 52 Ban. The relation is to BINAH, which is the second sphera after Chochma. And BINAH is the beginning of Vurot, of severities, limitations. And from here you had something called the Shvirat HaKelim, the breakage of the vessels. And it's related to Tohu, as I said before, has to do with lack of harmony, where one sphera is conflicting with another sphera. Then there's a higher level here, which is 72. You see, because you had more numbers because you're putting yuds in there, which yuds would increase the amount of the amount to 72. And that's related to Chochma also, but on a higher level of Chochma. The translation of Ab is related to Eitan, strong, hard, old, or ancient. So there's a relationship between Ab and also Chesed, because the first level of Ma here, it would be considered the lower level of Chochma, and this one here would be the higher level of Chochma. Now, if you look at all this here, to me this makes a lot of sense. It's very logical. You can see all how on each top of each letter combination is 20, 10, 12. You see how that's derived these numbers here. I think very, very logical that one could say there's some kind of a structure, because if you take the argument of a person who says that there's no God. But I found one interesting thing years ago. I was listening to a lecture on astrology, and this man, he didn't believe in God. He said there's all this structure of the universe, the zodiac signs. There's the northern hemisphere of the zodiac signs, and there's the southern hemisphere of the zodiac signs. And well, each one of the zodiac signs is related to different combinations of Hashem's name, you see. I have a diagram here which shows that. You look here, you see there's a diagram which shows that each one of the zodiac signs is related, spelled out in English here, you see. They're related to, so there's a combination here because God's name is 4 letters, right? You combine them in 12 ways. So it starts off Yud Kei Vav Kei here, which is Aries. This would be Taurus, this would be Gemini, this would be Cancer, this would be Leo, this would be Virgo, and it goes all the way around again with the Sefirot, with, let's say, Chesed word, that's a Chod Yesod, which are corresponding to the Sefirot. And then it goes around again and counts the Sefirot again, and it goes, Chesed would be Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces here. See, it's just a repetition of the sphere going around twice. So, this man who was talking about a form of pantheism or panentheism, and I said, I would like to ask him a question then. You accept astrology is true? The zodiac signs are real metaphysical realities? Then if you realize that each one of the zodiac signs is really represented by one of the combinations of God's name, so why are you telling me, why would he believe that there's no God? I mean, something to think about. The next lesson I'm probably going to get into more the Ma, the Ban, and the Sag, and I'll try to explain it better.